My name is Natasha, and this is my journey of recovery. Health. Oh, so important. Do I really care? um, so we all know that we need to be healthy. But what does healthy look like to us? I am of the firm belief that that you need to look at different factors when it comes to being healthy. Because each person is different and um, what we need, what we want, um, has to come into balance. And each person is different because each person's circumstances are different. Whether it's because you're living in a country where you don't have that much food, or if you live in a family who hasn't educated you on the right way of eating, or whether you can't exercise that well because of certain surgeries that you've had on your knees, and so it's harder to get out there, or even without surgeries, your knees hurt, and so it's harder to exercise and get that energy to go do it. I know with depression, it's affected me a lot because one day I'll be like, yes, I can do this, and I'll do it for a little bit, and then after that, I'm like, I'm depressed today. I'll just put it off till tomorrow, and tomorrow never comes. Um, Going into that, um, into trying to being healthy, what do you want from being healthy? Because that can influence what you really want from healthiness. Because being healthy looks different to different people, because different people want different things out of it. And depending on what you want out of it depends on what you want to do to gain that. Like, do you want more energy? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want more toned muscles? Do you want to stay away from chronic illnesses? Do you want to live longer? Do you want to have less stress? Or do you want to lower the effects of your mental illness? Yeah, I want all that too. Who doesn't want to have all that? And at the same time, each of us want to focus on one or two things that are really important to us. Um, I know that in the moment when the cookie is calling my name, those important things that were like super important like 2 seconds ago, like become like minimal of importance until after I eat the cookie, and then I feel bad. And anyway, that's a whole nother story. Um, um, but for some people whose genes, lifestyle habits, and relatively stress-free life, and have good self-control, can have that cookie without much consequence. I know, it's not fair. But for most people, it is a struggle of what to do and how to do it. Um, and so for most of us, the cookie will affect us, whether it will increase our anxiety or it will cause us to increase in our blood sugar levels. Um, so yeah, it can be pretty intense just because our diet influences us so much, and our exercise or lack of it. I'm so sorry. I have been really tired today, and I'll go into that a little bit later. Um, so I've heard from several different sources that diet and exercise really affect depression. Now, I looked into it, and I heard and I found out that depression might be influenced or possibly caused by inflammation in the brain. Now, when I heard that, I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to eat an anti-inflammatory diet. And so when I looked into it, though, it was very controversial. Because whether an anti-inflammatory diet can actually help with depression or not. In one systematic review and meta-analysis by KatieTolkien, StevenBradburn, and ChrisMurgatroyd, it was found that depression can be lowered by an anti-inflammatory diet. So I come back to health. Oh, so important. Do I really care? Being depressed, I could care less about my health because it just, I'm sorry, because I don't have that desire to go out and exercise. I don't have that desire to go out and eat salads. I don't have that desire to go out and do all these things. And so it makes it that much harder to go out and try and do something when you not only don't want to do it, but you don't have the energy to do it. Well, I decided I would rather, again, sorry I'm tired, I'll get back to that in a moment. I decided that I wanted my depression gone. And if this anti-inflammatory diet was going to help, I was going to follow it. Now, I heard from my uncle about this one diet, lifestyle change, whatever you want to call it, from this program called Betr Health. So, Betr Health, you start out by getting your gut healthy, then reintroducing foods to see how you react to them. And then finally, you have a plan to continue the lifestyle change by eating 80% healthy and 20% whatever you want. I thought that was pretty cool, so I joined it. It's not necessarily an anti-inflammatory diet. I believe it does help with that, but it doesn't necessarily focus on that. So if you want an anti-inflammatory diet, I would suggest the Mind diet or the Mediterranean diet. Both those diets seem to have been helpful. But anyway, sounds good, right? Well, I've been on it for 5 days now, and it has helped with my energy levels somewhat. I don't know if that's the cause, though, because I also changed my meds, and I ran out of my meds a couple days ago, like the day before yesterday, and I was going to get them yesterday, because you don't want to go too long without your meds, and trust me, it sucks without your meds. If you're taking them, it sucks to be without them. So I don't know if that's the effect, but today I've just been feeling really down. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to. I don't know. It's frustrating. But yeah. So today I've been depressed and I don't want to do anything, so I decided to do a podcast. Yay. Because I felt like it was productive, it was fun, and it's still a habit that I have, that I've created this past week, that when I'm depressed, I'm like, podcast, podcast, podcast. And so no matter what I do, it's like, or how I feel, it's like, okay, podcast. You have energy? Podcast. You feel depressed? Podcast. And so I'm like, okay, I can do this. Today I just want to go back to bed. And probably after this I will go back to bed because I have work later tonight and I'm just overwhelmed. I do need to pick up my meds. I don't know why. I feel like they should have meds just show up at your door in the mail for depressed people because that would be so simple and easy. Going to the pharmacy, ordering them, waiting around for 15 minutes to half an hour, then getting them, paying for them, and then going home is just, it's too much work for depressed people. Or at least it's too much work for this depressed person. Anyway, going back to what I was talking about with health, I really feel like it will help me, but I'm not sure. Because like everyone says it will help you, but will it help me specifically? Because I'm looking for energy. Because that's the main reason why I went on this diet, was because not to lose weight, even though I am losing weight, and not to um, help with anything else, with chronic illnesses. I don't care about that. I should, but being depressed, I don't. And so, but like looking at it and realizing that I do want to decrease my depression and increase my energy really opened up my mind and my determination to finish this diet. Sorry. Or in better words, to make this lifestyle change. Now, for those of you who are already on diets and you failed, I feel like all you have to do is find what works for you. For my mom, she was on the keto diet for like a year or more, and it worked for her for a while. As soon as she went off it, though, all the weight came back. Not all the weight, but most of the weight. And she hated it. She was like, I don't like being overweight. I liked being able to move and have my brain work and everything. So now she's on the diet that I'm on, with a little bit modification. And so I feel like, from what I've read and listened to, that as long as you have fruits and vegetables in your diet mainly, and have whole wheat if you're not gluten intolerant. If you're gluten intolerant, stay away from whole wheat or wheat anything. The whole grains, minimize whatever it is that is affecting you negatively, whether it's lactose intolerant, whether it's red meats, whether it's fish, because like you can react to almost anything. Like my friend, she went on this diet to see what she reacted to, and it was white rice and chicken. And she did horrible on that diet, because when the results came back, it turned out white rice and chicken was what was affecting her so negatively. So, yeah. So try to do what's best for you. Do what works. Make that lifestyle change, because it's what you want. If you don't want to make that lifestyle change, don't do it. People tell us all the time what we're supposed to do. In the end, though, it doesn't matter what we do or what we're supposed to do. What matters is what we desire, because that's what's going to push us forward. Because without that, we're just going to be like, who cares? You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm just rambling now. Because I'm very passionate about doing things that you want to and desire to do. Because so many people have so many different expectations of us. Society, our parents, our friends, Hollywood, I could go on, but so many people have different expectations of us. Ultimately, what we should be doing is what we want to do, what we desire to do, and live with the consequences of that. Just because we desire to eat cake every day doesn't mean that we won't run into diabetes down the road. You may want to eat cake every day, so you will. And then you have diabetes. Was that the best choice? Probably not, but it was your choice. And so with health and eating healthy and dieting, I feel like it has to be your choice. Or else it's not going to work. Or else you're just going to be focused in on on all the negative and how you don't feel like, doing this diet or lifestyle change. But if you make it your desire, like my desire is to get energy, like losing weight, yes, that was a want of mine, but it was more like an expectation of others. Like, I don't care if I'm overweight. I know it's inconvenient, and I know eventually it'll lead to chronic illness, but right now, it's just, that's not my focus. My focus is to get rid of my depression, to get my energy back. And so, yeah. So, sorry, I'm crying. As per usual. Emotions, they touch me. Anyway, I just hope that you are able to follow the lifestyle change that you want and desire. Because once you have that goal in mind, that real goal that you really want, then even though it's hard, you can still do it. And even if you mess up, your goal is still there, and you're able to get back on the bandwagon and continue forward. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for listening to me. My name is Natasha, and this is my journey of recovery.